Welcome everyone to another 7 minutes or less recap covering Agents of S.h.i.e.L.D. Season 2. This is part 2 of my recap. Let's dive right on in. Episode 8 deals with Grant's oppressed memories as a child against his brother Christian. This ultimately leads to an ambiguous murder of Christian, only to be confirmed later by Whitehall when Grant confronts him to work for Hydra again. A flashback shows Whitehall experimenting on subjects to understand the true nature of the obelisk. He then finds a young Chinese woman who is not affected by the obelisk, and instead it forms symbols on it. This happens just before news is reached to him that the Red Skull had been defeated. The young woman is taken away for further experimentation. Presently, Whitehall learns from the doctor that the obelisk needs to be taken to a special place, a hidden city, by someone special in order for its true power to be unlocked. Bobby Morse finds out a lot more of Whitehall's back history as he was detained by Agent Carter in 1945 and wasn't released until 1989 by Alexander Pierce, a Hydra agent in the Winter Soldier. Whitehall finds the same woman held in captivity after all these years and experiments on her until her death, finding out what made her so special, thus making Whitehall young again. Episode 9 jets the storyline of finding the city into high gear. Coulson splits the group into two, sending May, s.h.i.e.L.D. and Lance to collect Rihanna, who is under S.h.i.e.L.D. protection, and Morse, Leo, Gemma, and Mac, who I have not mentioned in these recaps until now. He has been in since Episode 1 of Season 2, to San Juan, Puerto Rico, which is where the alien city is located. Mac hints at a subtle problem to Bobby as her relationship to Hunter is getting too close and wants to know if Hunter should be led on this other thing. Morse says no. Priorities come through and Raina wants to know what kind of potential she can unlock with inside herself. Ward comes in and takes S.h.i.e.L.D. and Raina, while Mac lowers himself into the shaft of the underground city. Mac becomes victim to whatever is down there and attacks the team. He is sent back down into the shaft and Coulson blocks off the entrance. Episode 10, the mid-season finale, gives us a lot of things at once. One in particular is a new story arc for this season: the Inhumans. Also, S.h.i.e.L.D.'s father, no longer called the Doctor, but Cal. S.h.i.e.L.D. meets him for the first time. It's a rocky start. But Cal's motivations, while he is a violent man, has been trying to piece his family together from the start. This is just the beginning. It is revealed that the young Chinese woman was Cal's wife and was murdered by Whitehall. Cal's revenge was to kill Whitehall, who he aligned with, but Coulson beats him to it, killing him first. Coulson rescues S.h.i.e.L.D., Raina, and while the rest of the team doing various tasks are trying to destroy the underground city for good. S.h.i.e.L.D. goes into the city hoping to make sense of all the chaos along with Raina, and they find Mac down there in the city. Triplet, who has again been throughout these situations, races to disable the explosives while S.h.i.e.L.D. and Raina are inside to prevent their deaths, but ultimately Triplet dies instead, as the obelisk is opened and a mist is released encasing S.h.i.e.L.D. and Raina. In the end, this is the turning point for the season, as it breaks for a few months. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 can be seen before Agents of S.h.i.e.L.D. Season 2, and after Episode 10 of Agents of S.h.i.e.L.D., Volume 2 of Guardians of the Galaxy can be seen directly thereafterwards. Daredevil Season 1 can be seen after the next set of events concurrent with Agents of S.h.i.e.L.D. Episodes 11 through 19. Episodes 11 through 19 establishes the Inhumans plotline throughout these 9 episodes, and I can't cover everything due to the constraints in time, but here are the basics. S.h.i.e.L.D. and Raina both are taken by a man with no eyes who can teleport to a place that they can heal themselves and be themselves. This place is called the Afterlife, where S.h.i.e.L.D. reunites with her mother. Shocker, huh? Coulson has to deal with the quote-unquote other thing that Mac alluded to, as Bobby and Mac are both a part of an organization that, well, is proclaimed the real S.h.i.e.L.D. As Robert Gonzalez, played by Edward James Olmos, is in charge of this operation. Robert isn't necessarily the enemy, but he is looking to take Coulson down and take over what's left of S.h.i.e.L.D. Cal takes a bunch of S.h.i.e.L.D. gifted assets that are part of a collective list and recruits them to help settle his vendetta against Coulson. This, of course, doesn't go well and is taken to Afterlife to reunite with his wife and S.h.i.e.L.D. Trust me, there's a lot lot of back and forth with who goes where, who needs who, how powerful one is, how can one be accepted for what they turned into, and what we get is a surprise by the end to see Reyna can predict the future. While she is hard to trust, she ends up actually being true to her word. Reyna starts to predict the events of Avengers Age of Ultron. One episode actually gives us a back history of what happened to Melinda May on the day she was called the Cavalry. The child caught in the crossfire actually was the child who caused the mess in the first place. What a twist. Keep in mind that if there's anything you wanted me to mention or talk about, leave a comment down below. But the biggest plot point leads Coulson to pursue Wolfgang von Strucker, who has experimented on metahumans and is in possession of Loki's scepter, sending Maria Hill to inform the Avengers. Of course, at this front is the next set of events. Afterwards, episode 20 Scars picks up after the events. Coulson was now trusted under the approval of Robert Gonzalez to continue being director. After the Inhumans are realized to be their own separate force that want to be left alone, Gonzalez goes to negotiate with S.h.i.e.l.d'S mother. The mother double-crosses the peaceful treaty and proclaims war by killing Gonzalez and shooting herself. The last episode, which is a two-parter, S.h.i.e.l.d. calls the bluff on S.h.i.e.l.d'S mother declaring war, but Skye and the people of the afterlife don't and fight with her. Coulson uncovers the terrible truth that Skye's mother has been controlling Cal, making him do terrible things. Skye finally sees this. Later on, Cal ends up killing Skye's mother, and Cal's memories are wiped to live a more peaceful life. May takes a leave of absence. Mac is in charge of alien artifacts. Coulson starts a new S.h.i.e.L.D. team that appoints Skye as their leader with others helping her out. Ward commands what's left of Hydra. Minor notes include an object called a monolith that is stone at first and then turns into liquid only to reform within moments. This is a weapon from the Kree, the alien that revived Coulson and Skye, and is obtained for safekeeping. In the finale, Simmons is inspecting it, but Fitz accidentally damages the casing while asking her out on a date, and she is absorbed into the monolith. This, my friends, wraps up my 7 minutes or less recap in Season 2 of Agents of S.h.i.e.L.D. Thank you all so much for watching. I try to get recaps and TV reviews under 7 minutes or less, some a few seconds over than the given time. Like this video and subscribe, and I'll get you more videos in the future.